Hey there! Thanks for coming to my channel. These guys right here are my Patreon crew, and it's thanks to them that I'm able to make content and fill your days with fluffy blue kangaroos. I never once imagined my channel would go this far, so I am so insanely grateful to all my amazing patrons. But I'm also thankful to you just for being here, because I definitely couldn't have done it without people like you simply watching my stuff. So, thank you! Alright, let's get to the video. Enjoy. Hello everybody! Welcome to this very special Pride Month episode, because today I have a very special guest with me. Please say hello to Rika!
Hello! I don't have a bottle, but I do have this deer with a scooter on his antler. Isn't it cute?
Yeah, that'll do.
Oh wait, I have a bottle of isopropyl alcohol.
So, this Pride Month I really wanted to talk about asexuality because it seems to be a pretty, I suppose, in the heat topic at the moment, so I thought who better to talk about it with than the one and only Vix N Dwnq, or Rika.
Yay, asexual pride!
As you may have guessed, Rika is in fact asexual by the multitude of flags, but Pocari as a character is also asexual. The human behind the character is not, but the character is. So Rika, what is asexuality anyway?
Asexuality defines people who do not experience sexual attraction to any gender identity. You're just not really interested in anybody.
So, when did you find out that you were ace?
About 3 years ago, I think.
Like, just sort of had an epiphany, or?
Well, first, I thought that I was straight demisexual because I didn't really understand what anything was. And for a while, when I was younger, I actually thought I was a lesbian because I wasn't interested in any of the boys. But when I found out what demisexual was, I was like, wow, that sounds a lot like me. But it still didn't feel quite right. So when I eventually found out that what asexual was, when I was talking to other people who were asexual, I was like, you know what? That is definitely me. And it took me kind of a while to accept that about myself, but I feel pretty happy about it now.
How has being ace been in the LGBT community? What's your experience kind of been like?
Well, the only time that I really interact with the LGBT community is when I go to the Pride Parade. And I've been in the Pride Parade about 3 times, I think. I've always had a really great experience. Everybody is really happy and super accepting, and I got lots of compliments on my flag, which I wore as a cape. I always had a really good time, but online is when it gets a little rocky, I guess.
Yeah, as we've seen all over like Twitter and Tumblr, that aces are starting to get excluded from the whole LGBT circle, and I'm not entirely sure why. Like, all the arguments never really make sense to me. It's like, if you're cis and you're het and you're ace, then you're not allowed to be LGBT because you're still cis-het.
Well, you can be heteromantic and asexual, but you can't be heterosexual and asexual.
So are you aromantic as well?
No, I am actually pan-romantic.
Eh.
I have a bub and I love him very much.
No.
And of course, you can still love people when you're aromantic, but I definitely have romantic feelings for him.
Oh, that's good.
But ace-exclusionists seem to think that being in the LGBT is some sort of oppression competition.
Yeah, I know, right?
Which doesn't make a lot of sense because there are a lot of people out there who identify as LGBT and hardly experience any oppression, but they're still valid in the community.
I feel like I've had a very, very, very lucky experience because the human behind the brew had like the easiest coming out ever. Like, the family was accepting, the friends were accepting, like it was as smooth as anything. So I feel extremely lucky, but I know a lot of people definitely have not had quite the smooth experience that I did.
Yeah, I don't think Vix has quite come out yet, or maybe she just came out. But I hope that goes smoothly.
Yeah, best of luck with that one. I reckon you'll be fine. The furry fandom seems to be pretty supporting. Have you had any other experiences with like being ace and with like the furry fandom specifically?
Well, the furry fandom, as far as I know, has been pretty dang accepting of it. I've worn the flag with the furry group in the parade, in the Pride parades, I mean. I was invited to be in them, and then some of my other furry friends actually bought me this flag and let me wear it at the parades. Online, really, the main people to have accepted me into the world of the LGBT plus are the furries. I haven't had any furry friends of mine be like, ugh, Ace is stupid, Ace is bad, Ace doesn't exist.
That's good.
What's your thoughts on not safe for work art?
I haven't had too many experiences with the not safe for work art.
Yeah, I've had some people draw it, and I'm not a fan at all.
No, it's especially when you're so close to your character, it's really violating in a way. Like, it's hard to describe when you haven't really experienced it.
Oh yes, definitely.
Because people are like, oh, it's just art, it's just a picture, it's harmless. It's like, that's literally an envision of me, literally in a situation that I am not consenting to. Like,
it's like, if you wouldn't draw not safe for work art of your parents, shouldn't draw not safe for work art of anybody who doesn't consent.
That's a very good way to put it. Alright, so one thing we do need to address is the elephant in the room.
Where?
Can asexuals still have sex? They always say, trust me, just keep looking.
Yes. Asexuals can partake in the act of intercourse.
The birds and the bees.
Because it's not about a low sex drive, it's not about not wanting to, it's just about not experiencing the attraction.
Okay, so you can like do it for your partner's benefit, in a way?
Yes, and asexuals can also enjoy it. They can still have high libido and still do all of those things that I don't really want to talk about, but they can do them and they can enjoy them. It's different for every asexual. So like one asexual may not like porn or anything like that, but another one might be into all of that. It just depends from person to person. Greysexual kind of covers the whole spectrum of ace.
Ah, yeah, greysexual. That seems to be a new one that's popped up.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the definition of greysexual? I keep seeing different versions.
From what I got out of it, it's kind of like when you're asexual, but you can sometimes develop sexual feelings for other people or sexual attraction. It's a little bit more than demisexual. It's kind of like a way to describe the entire spectrum between allosexual and asexual. So if you like fall somewhere in there.
How do you know if you're asexual or you're just going through a period of time where you're not feeling that kind of sexual feelings? Because like, you know, if you're really stressed, you've got lots going on, or you're too busy, you sometimes just don't even think about it. Like, how do you know?
Well, I knew that I was asexual because I looked back on like my whole life, and when I discovered what asexuality was, I was like, oh wow, that all makes a whole lot of sense now, doesn't it? Some people might believe that you can go between sexualities, like maybe for half of your life you're straight and then all of a sudden you find out that you're gay or something like that.
Yeah.
Some people may believe that you only have one sexuality your whole life. And I don't really know where I stand with all of that. It might change depending on person to person, but I feel like you would know the difference between like just not feeling it and just not having the attraction whatsoever. And maybe you realize like, hey, now that I'm married to somebody, my sexuality has changed, because that kind of happened to one of my friends who found out that after they got married, they realized that they were demisexual, when before they didn't even consider that. Sometimes big changes in your life can affect that kind of stuff. But I feel like if you just weren't feeling like it for a while, then you might be able to tell the difference between that and just not liking anybody.
Fair enough. I think just everyone's different. Some people can change, some people can't. It depends on the person and their experiences and all that jazz. Like, you can't really give it a blanket statement because everyone is different.
Oh yeah, it's all a spectrum. In my opinion, labels like that aren't really to define yourself, but it's more to define yourself to other people, or how you want other people to perceive you. Like, if I were to go into super detail, it wouldn't be just asexual, it would be like all this other stuff. But all people really know about me, or need to know about me, is that I am asexual. They don't need to know the gritty details.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, what would you say to someone who is ace but still in the closet and is watching this video right now?
I would say to do a lot of research on asexuality. You can go to asexuality.org, or I think whatisasexuality.com, and those are some sites that have a whole lot of information about asexuality. And if you feel like you fit the description, then I'd say that it's okay. It's okay to feel like that. You may feel confused, you may feel broken, you just may not know what's going on inside your head, because I know, because I went through that. So I would just say, hang in there, find other people who are asexual and talk to them, find yourself a nice little group you can relate to.
Because I say that's one thing a lot of ace people get told, or they feel, is that they're broken, there's something wrong with them, they're not right. And then it doesn't help if there's any outside sources telling them that as well, like, oh, you need to pick a side, you can't just have nothing.
I definitely had a lot of people tell me that I just need to get over it, I need to stop acting childish, I need to grow up, fit in, and all that. And I was just like, I had absolutely no interest in it. And I was like, why do I need to change myself for you? I think a lot of people just don't think it exists and think that we're over-exaggerating or making it up to seem cool or trendy or whatever, but I mean, I've been like this my whole life. Nothing's really changed, so I'd say it's definitely real. But I would just tell people to be themselves and not let anybody tell them how to live or how to feel, and just do what's best for them.
Aces are a part of the LGBTQA+ community, whether they're homoromantic, heteromantic, or anything romantic. If they're ace, they belong with us.
Yes, definitely.
So I think that pretty much covers everything that I wanted to talk about, because asexuality isn't something that's really talked about a whole lot. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, they're kind of there, shove them into the corner. So I wanted to bring a lot more awareness to it, teach you more about it, and use the help with someone who actually is ace and has had a lot of experience with it, because me only having an ace character, I can't get that full kind of insight.
I've definitely had to explain it to a lot of people recently.
Yeah. Now, thank you so much for joining me on this video, Rika. I really appreciate it. It's been lovely having you.
Yes, it was very fun making this video with you, Pocari, and having this conversation.
Yeah, so I hope we've helped someone out there and taught you some stuff, and yeah, we'll see you in our next video. Don't forget to check out Vix N Dwnq's channel. I'll put a little card there, or is it this side? I think it's on one of these sides. And it'll be in the end screen as well, so definitely go check out her channel. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!
Bye!